So we're going to change the forecast to something worse.
What's going to happen?
Oh yes, I thought I'd let you know. Now I agree with everything that Haiku has said, and he's standing for the Workers' Party, and I'm standing for an independent alongside Workers' Party. And I spoke to George Galloway only a few days ago on exactly this point. He said I'm standing as independent alongside Workers' Party and urge people to support Workers' Party and other independents on our basic page. And that way we can draw in more people into both, in a way to fight back against the World Economic Forum and all its impositions. I stand for ABC, anybody but the circus. Okay, now yesterday we had a big rally, as mentioned by Haiku, run by Tommy Yaxley Moron. And let's be clear, he is an Israeli agent, and what demonstration is an example of the beginning of the attempts by the WEF to take over the movement here and subvert it. That is what that action was all about. Now, those people who said, oh, we got to be neutral on genocide, they are paving the way for this evil takeover of the movement. Let's be absolutely clear. That is what it is about. You cannot be neutral on genocide. Of course we get used in these games, yes, we'll discuss that in a second. But ask yourself this question. Tommy Yaxley Moron, or TYM as I call him, he's doing these things now opposing the World Health Organization when it's on the point of collapse anyway. Did he do anything to stop the jabbing, stop ULEZ, stop any of these things happening against us until now? No! He's an agent paid for, funded by the Israelis in order to come in and confuse us and take us over and keep people from being clear about the need to oppose that genocide and end all the arms exports to Israel from Britain and all over.
Have you got that Tommy Robinson is funded by the Israeli government?
He waves an Israeli flag.
Oh, I see.
That's not evidence, is it?
Well, that's pretty good evidence.
That's not evidence, is it? If I wave a flag,
He's controlled opposition. He hasn't been seen doing anything useful until now, and it isn't useful to us, it's useful for the WEF. Now look, we do have games and circuses played all the time, of course. Now, some people say, well, look, we're being manipulated into something. Of course, look, everything that happens, including the weather, will be used to divide us. But that doesn't mean we don't have to do something. Like even if it's the weather, we need to put up an umbrella. We don't complain and say, oh yes, they did this, they caused this or whatever. No, we have to act. The same with Assange say. Look, it is a circus, Assange. We know that they'll carry on pretending to lock Assange and take him away, but not take him away. They need a circus. It's a Tom and Jerry show. When Tom meets Jerry, it's the end of the show. But they need the show to keep us and warn all journalists that you could be next. But we still have to defend the right for free speech. We have to do that anyway. And the same with the genocide. Of course we have to oppose the genocide. Of course it will be used to divide us. But that doesn't mean we don't do anything. Let us be clear. We have to always do what is right against whatever circus is going on. Against TYM, against fake science, and against the political circus happening before us. Now, let's understand what's going on. The big world stage right now, the World Health Organization treaty is on the rocks, thanks to massive protests all over the world. Huge demonstrations in in the past. A lot of action in Britain, mostly local, but it's forced MPs to ask questions. Now, the negotiations about the wording of that treaty failed to produce what they wanted, so they just got to issue vague nonsense about the general principle about the World Health. Okay, but we know it won't stop there. They will be back. Just like we know the climate con, people are now pretty clear. Most people know that all these claims about super hot weather and so on are nonsense and lies. The data's fiddled. But they carry on spreading the lies. We know the jab. We know that the jab, the COVID jab, wasn't created to deal with COVID, but the COVID story was created to bring you the jab and kill you.
Yes.
That's what it was about. But they're still, yes, quick round of applause there, but they still will carry on trying to make people take the jab. And the stupidest will take the jab, and they will die. They will die. We know as well that the World Economic Forum is taking setbacks, but they will press on. And let's be clear, they are absolutely hell-bent on pressing on. Last week there was a big conference, a new idea, in Killarney, way out in Ireland. The Fusion Conference it was called. Well, it's called the World Economic Summit. And there they talked about fusing together the activity of governments, mega corporations, public-private partnerships, and the whole lot. This is what they're for, and they'll press on unless we actually break the legs of new world tyranny. And to do these things, we need action from below. We've got boycotts on Israeli issues. We've got to actively fight to prevent arms shipments to Israel. And on the WHO and doctors, the World Health Organization of doctors, we've got to boycott the WHO doctors. We've got to have a campaign to go to every doctor, every surgeon and say, if the WHO asks you to jab people, will you do it? Yes or no? If they say yes, we say we'll boycott this doctor. We demand doctors who actually serve the people, not the enemy. Now, I myself, as you know, I'm standing in Southwark under independent in support of Workers' Party and other independents. In Bermondsey and Old Southwark is where I'm standing, and the key issues I'm standing on is peace now, and that means practical action to prevent export of arms and so forth, housing, more council housing, and end the nonsense whereby Britain is the mega speculation capital of the world, which is why house prices are zooming up all the time, and of course all the other issues from the WEF, like breaking ULEZ, making sure there's no more lockdowns, all of those things, and Zexit, zero exit from the net zero nonsense which is used to imprison us all. So I would urge you to support me and Haiku in our election campaigns. Tomorrow, if people want to help, we'll start off with some activity in Bermondsey and Old Southwark. So anyone is welcome to come, and we do need some money, by the way. I've got a box down here. We need about £2,500. We've almost got 500. So we need to fill up 50 quid today. No, let's say 500 today. Whatever, please. Anyway, I think I'll end there, and I have any questions. But this is the most important month ahead for a decade, because we have the chance here to break the hold of the circus. And let's be absolutely clear. Do not even answer the question, is this Labour candidate better than that Tory candidate? That is utter nonsense. We are against them all. Against them all. We don't want anybody to vote for the circus at all. No Labour, no Lib Dem, no Tory, no Green, no Reform, none of them. That's all part of the circus. If there's no independent standing, don't vote at all. Go in there and spoil your ballot paper. That is what to do. No, no, no to the circus.
Yes.
He agrees. Very good. There's our poll of one over there. Okay. Okay, yeah, in respect to our end with and then some questions. Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I fully intend to spoil
No,
my
some
ballot
questions.
this election.
You do. Well, if you're in Bermondsey
Excuse
or
me,
in
is that,
Putney,
did you put that sign up? Is that your sign?
I did.
Oh, right. Okay. You're saying it's not war, it's genocide. Can you explain to me what you mean by genocide?
Well, you know what it means.
No, I know what it means. I'm asking you what
Well,
it
why?
means.
You know what it means. Everybody here knows what it means. It's
What
mass
does it mean?
killing, eliminating the population either by killing them or moving.
Oh, I see. Do you happen to know that in the war in Gaza, okay, that the ratio of deaths compared to combatants is probably the least in any war? And what would be being said about? Hang on, I haven't finished yet.
Women and children are being massacred now.
Oh, well, then I tell you what, Winston Churchill, he should also be crucified because he bombed hundreds of thousands of Germans in Dresden.
Well, of course, that was wrong. Completely wrong.
Oh, I see. So we should have not bombed Germany. That's a matter of war. That's a matter of war.
Genocide bombing everywhere.
He just said Churchill was wrong.
Churchill was a bastard.
He saved this country.
Well,
If it wasn't for him, we'd have the Nazis running around today.
You compare Palestinian with the Nazi.
That's what the Israeli government is. It's not.
The Israeli Nazi, if the Israeli government is Nazis, you're actually saying that they're a Nazi government. The Nazis
Before
want to
the
kill
war,
Jews.
Nazis and the Zionists worked together.
Well, I just want to say something. I'm glad I'm not in your constituency because I certainly wouldn't be voting for you.
together.
Why not? Why wouldn't you vote for him?
Because he doesn't talk any sense. Nothing that I particularly agree with. He can't answer the question.
He just did, didn't he?
No, he didn't answer the he didn't answer me with the correct facts.
Oh, he didn't answer your answer.
He's a fact checker over here.
No, I'm asking you a
Any
question.
more questions, please?
How is it a genocide?
How's it a genocide?
Yeah. No, I'm very curious because
How's
it's
what a genocide?
the war in Gaza.
The Israeli government say what they want to do. They want to remove the whole population. They kill them. That's what
No, they
doing.
didn't. They're not saying. So,
That's what
rubbish.
genocide is.
Israel has the strongest military in the Middle East. If they really wanted to kill the entire Gaza, they could bomb the entire place.
They've dropped the equivalent of 5 Hiroshimas on Gaza.
Oh, the equivalent. 40,000 people have died, and the population is 2.2 million people. How is that a genocide?
It's a genocide. It is a genocide. What do you mean? How many have to die for genocide?
If they really want to do a genocide, then they should bomb.
How many do you think should die then?
Have you ever seen a war where?
How many do you think should die then?
I can't give you a specific number.
To count as a genocide.
If they really wanted to commit genocide,
You're
they
the
could
one
bomb.
who's saying genocide isn't 40,000. So how many is genocide?
So is what the American?
How many is genocide?
Is there-
40,001 is genocide.
Is the American invasion of Iraq a genocide?
That wasn't justified.
Is that a genocide?
Yeah, it's a genocide.
Why is that not a genocide? They killed way more women and children.
And what Britain did in
Iraq had an
Tasmania
army.
was genocide.
Iraq had an army.
Lesbian.
Yeah, but you didn't answer my question.
Gaza doesn't have an army.
Is the invasion of Iraq a genocide? Was it a genocide?
Iraq had an army. They could fight back a bit. Gaza doesn't have an army.
Well, the Americans.
Gaza has a resistance movement.
Well, it's a resistance.
They have a resistance movement.
Well, Hamas.
And the people resist.
Oh, so
Not only
murdering, raping, burning people's houses.
How many rapes?
Rapes. There have been
How many have killed people
How many?
and then blamed the...
There have been countless.
How many are countless? How
Hamas
many?
is also
Name me the number. You can tell the Israeli press.
What?
Name me the number. Publish.
I can't name you the number, but there have been countless people who have claimed that they have been raped.
Countless reports of rape.
Yeah.
Without any evidence.
So, did you see the GoPro videos of them shooting people in the back of the head?
Look, you're saying that is a justification
Okay, but is that terrorism?
for killing, mass
So if
murder,
there's a test,
massacre,
what's the proportionate
genocide
relationship
with women and children?
between how many people were killed on October the 7th?
officially.
So you're talking about proportion.
How many people were killed on October? 1,002.
1,200.
How many of them were killed by the Israelis? Maybe 200. How many were soldiers? Maybe 400.
Oh, 400.
How many civilians? Some.
Some.
Half of them.
So 800
Maybe half.
civilians. Wait,
So
800
in
civilians.
exchange for that,
800
you
civilians.
claim one baby was killed, or they claimed on the day 40 babies beheaded, but no beheaded babies were found.
What do you? Okay. So
Then they go and murder tens of thousands of people in Gaza,
Okay.
women and children.
Okay.
Half of them women and children, and you show not the least bit of interest in them.
Okay, well that's not true.
Oh, someone was raped, but when people are slaughtered in
Number one.
Gaza, that's irrelevant.
Number one, I want to get this straight. I'm not
You
political.
don't give a shit about those people.
Okay, instead of slandering me right now, let's stick to the
It's
debate.
obvious what
What
you say.
should Israel have done? What should Israel have done?
Israel should never be established.
Okay, but I'm talking about now. Now. What should they have done?
It's like saying
And you have to avoid the questions.
when
Why
the
you can't answer?
Nazis had concentration camps.
Nicholas.
Well, scientists say that sometimes.
Sorry,
Some scientists say that the bombardments are affecting the weather in Europe. What do you think about this? Are you sure when you do fireworks the next day, it's raining?
all this talk of weather modification
Yes.
is mostly nonsense. They do want to modify the weather. They are doing spraying, but they're saying they're modifying the weather as a cover for doing something else. Spraying poisons to damage crops. That's the main thing going on. They can't change any climate. They can make it rain in certain places if they want to. What about it's not a big weather control game. They want you to believe it is to divert you from the truth.
What about HARP?
HARP is real. They've got more HARP, but they're infinitesimal compared with the power of the sun. They doing experiments. They want to make tornadoes or anything, but they've never succeeded, and they never will, because they do not understand the actual way tornadoes work. Look, let's be clear. A HARP operation might be as big as that place where you can buy tea over there. These recent massive upper air turbulence and the big aurora, they were caused by an Earth-facing mega sunspot bigger than 20 times the size of the Earth on the sun. That's probably bigger than any sunspot that's happened since 1947. So there's something big going on the sun. That is what is causing these oscillations in weather. And the big variations in the jet stream is sunny or warm and then suddenly very cold. Those are again, they're caused by solar activity. All this stuff, the heart can't do anything like that. They can do local things only. One over there. More questions? Is that the end then? Any more questions? Oh, silence, all right. Give us some money, get a bag out, and anyone who wants help tomorrow, about sort of 1 o'clock onwards in Bermondsey, let me know. And we'll end with, another question.
Briefly on the subject of weather modification, have you heard that old Bill Gates bastard wants to dim the sun?
Yeah, I know.
Do you think he can
They
achieve
want
that?
you, no, of course not. They want you to believe that's their mission. They even paid one of those big universities to do it, to try it. And they did a trial. They put some chalk dust in the atmosphere and have a look over, 100 square kilometres or something to see what happens. The amount of chalk dust they put in was tiny. The effect was zero. But they talked about it to make you think that is what they want to do, to save the planet, because people are brainwashed 24/7 into the world heating up. It's a lie, a lie, a lie. So the answer is they're playing that game, but they will never succeed. It's to control your thought process. Yes, sir. Fear-mongering. Yes, fear-mongering and poison spreading. So shall we believe there? Can I get the money box out? All right.
Don't get the money box out.
Do a song in a minute if you want. Okay. Resist, defy, do not comply.
Resist,
Defy.
do not comply.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how
Okay, people, money.
That's a good care of your stool, as you can see.
Thank you very much. I bet you enjoyed all. Did it go all right? All right. I think Nicholas is going to sing in a second.
Oh no,
And I want to collect.
no.
Can you hold that? You can hold that.
Hold this back.
Yeah. So give out these
Just one
leaflets.
over there.
Leaflets here, people.
That's him over there. He's just quite smart. Nicholas. He'll be singing. He looks like a singer. Oh right. He's more of a dancer, but he won't go in. Oh right. Won't go in. We should have went on that X Factor.
Any more for any more?
No.
Money, money, money.
Oh yeah, we can get that.
You've probably got one of these, but go on.
I've got hundreds. No more. Say no.
Any more money, any more money?
I don't want with cash. It's a modern day.
All right.
When you say that about stuff that you say, every human thinks different. Some people enjoy killing people. There's more mad people on the street than in the madhouse. We can't change our nature. It's their nature. They enjoy it. You can't tell them to stop.
Thanks very much. Any more for any more?
Is this going to do the song? Yeah. The song? Okay.
This is introduction.
I need an introduction for you. Okay.
Let's go some more over here.
Yes, bunkers right later. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This bunkers will have the bunko next. We'll have the song for the campaign. Okay.
Is it being recorded?
I hope so.
I've got this. All right. Well, yeah. Shall we do it on this one as well?
Yeah, do it on that one as well. Wait a minute. No, I just wrote it on the train. On the train.
New song.
I just literally on the train.
Literally on the train.
Literally on the train.
It's all on the train.
Get the voice ready.
I'll be with you in a tick.
Yeah. And the video.
Yeah, the video. I can do that. Tell me when you're ready. All right, video. So, all right, I'm ready now.
We must push back
No.
now.
Sing a song.
Live.
Get it ready.
So tell him it's live.
Live was go to the YouTube.
It's going to YouTube, so everything's being recorded. Can you tell him to perform?
And
I want action because this is.
is subject to access.
I don't know. This is whichever one Heiko's on.
Subject access.
Yes.
It's on.
All right. Yes. We must push back now. We must push back now against the WEF and the WHO. Don't let them take away our sovereignty. Do this now to keep us free. We must push back now. We must push back now against the WEF and the WHO. Do not surrender to their evil plan. You'll find that it's just a complete scam. We must push back now. We must push back now against the WEF and the WHO. Boycott the doctors who give the jab. Don't let that poison in your arm be stabbed. We must push back now. We must push back now against the WEF and the WHO. globalist tyranny we'll overthrow. All it takes is to just say no. We must push back now. We must push back now against the WEF and the WHO. Resist, defy, do not comply. Keep on shouting our battle cry.
If you need a drummer, I'm available.
Thank you.
I can recommend a guitarist as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Okay, today I have the title is what's the difference between the United States and China's political systems? You know, this is a profound question, but I will use the simple words to tell the people what's the difference, what's the significant difference, what's the essential difference between the United States and China's political systems. I want to use one word to make summaries. If the United States president become an idiot, most of the United States people will say that, okay, we should be careful. This guy is an idiot. They will make crazy decisions. We will keep him away from the nuclear arms button, right? The people's willingness will know that. But if China president become the idiot, you know, 1.4 billion people will become idiots as well. You know, this is US presidents have been idiots. you know, Donald Trump.
Revelations as well. Since Revelation. They want the end of the war.
Most of the presidents.
And there was no revolution to stop them. So there's not too much difference between the US and China.
You know, China historically navigates a very complex relationship between the Soviet Union and the United States. At the beginning, China aligned with the Soviet Union from the 1949 to 1970, and later China diversity, leading to the political reconciliation with the United States in 1970s. And this political reconciliation make China have access to the international market, to the high technology, to the experience management, and to the foreign investment. So China have the 40 years high-speed growth since 1980 to 2010, and it's become the world's second largest economy now. But the rest of China was perceived most significant challenge to this established global order now. So last week I talked about the information wars. We also have the trade wars and another wars between the United States and China. Since the 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. A lot of the Soviet Union collapse have the big impact on the confidence of the Chinese people on the communists. They don't believe the communists anymore. So the top of the leader, the top senior officers in China, they have the meeting. They have to figure out what's the reform next one. They will focus on the socialists. The last week, the CACON talked about the public ownership parties. But now China is still have the Communist Party name, but it's a socialist and public ownership parties. So last week I talked about something like this. So China's political system and economic system now is a hybrid system. This is a socialism political system and marketing orientation economic system. So that's combined together. So we have a lot of internal conflict, confrontation, internal some things, the political system not match with the economic system. So they have a lot of the conflict. So I saw that 60% or 70% of resource was held by the state-owned companies. This is a public owner party, public owner political system. I tell you, 2013, I worked for the international company. This company was chasing for the one project in North China. This is the oil and gas project, refinery investment, this huge investment. And we follow these projects and we talk with PetroChina. PetroChina was owners of that project. And we tell them, we ask them, where is the oil coming from? They don't tell us. They say maybe come from the Middle East, maybe come from the Russia. But finally, we confirm the resources source of the oil is coming from Russia. Russia built a pipeline, a huge pipeline to China, to Korea, and to Japan, also by the ports. So this side is a political alliance or economic alliance. I told you, both of them. Russia have the war against Russia and the Ukraine war of almost 2 years. And the Western, the UK, German, and most of the Western countries cut off the money supply to the Russia. They don't buy the gas and oil from Russia anymore. But why Russia still have the war against Russia, Ukraine? They get some money from the other countries. Major of the second largest economy, China, Japan, and South Korea. So that's that's happening. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I have another. I have something to talk about. Some more questions. Yeah. And Donald Trump was found guilty in the 33 felony. They have the beauty, the harsh money to the peoples, and that's the symbol for the, when I talk about the United States political system, what's that? There's a legal system, executive system, and the law force system. They work together. They work against each other. So that's sometimes you will find.
Well, what are you telling us? Is it good or bad that he's could go to prison?
Okay.
It could be. I think it'd be great to have a president running from prison.
Yeah, former president, they become goes to the prison.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah,
he
it can be.
In prison and still stand in prison. And he wouldn't be able to vote for it.
Yeah, but I see some people say that is nobody above the law. Nobody above the law. That was the three systems: legislative system, executive system, and the law enforcement judicial system. They're working together and work against each other. So that's the problem. Yeah.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
I think it's a big circus.
Big circus. So
He is a prig,
yes.
yes. But he would probably still win. Because who cares?
Yeah, I think so. That he is a prominent candidate of the Republic.
But for some of his
Republic
followers,
Party.
it proves he's a good guy because he's an old crib. You know what I mean?
So I saw that United States, some idiot can be elected to become the United States president, but the people know this guy is an idiot. They will make crazy decisions.
In the
We
swing
should take
states-
him away from the nuclear weapon bottom.
There's a problem in the swing states. There's a lot of swing state voters don't really want a criminal to be president. Except, you know, what is Biden anyway? He's another criminal, so it's not a choice.
Any questions?
1.4 billion people. Why is there no good football players from China?
Yeah.
1.8 billion people in China. Why can't they produce any good footballers?
Well, they got more
This
sense.
is a
They
long
invented
story.
football.
This is a major
They
story.
invented football in China.
Yeah, they invest a lot of money, huge
2,000
money.
years ago.
Yes, the hundreds
All
of
footballers
millions
have paid
money
taxes to China.
put into the football
China
teams.
invented football.
But you know, in China they have the gambling on the footballs. You know, the gambling and the
Oh,
calculate
they do,
who will win, who will lose. And they take some money, pay for the football players, and let them do the fake race. So that is why the people they manipulate the football match. They manipulate the football match. So even the best coach from the Brazil, from Argentina,
South Korea,
they do not
South
coach
Korea
the
produce
people.
good footballers. South Korea produce good footballers.
So free.
Yeah, they produce.
South Korea, they do that's very good. It's a different system, you know.
Yeah.
They do that. It's a different system. South Korea have the very independent football legal. They have the very good football supporting systems. But in China, political, football, sports, and financial, they integrate together. They work together. So it's a mess. It's a mess.
You don't hold back, do you?
A lot of people Chinese are scared.
Yeah. So I just get some information inside.
Thank you. Toad, no, not Toad.
Yeah, I just say a little bit of things about the United States political system. You know, on the face, the United States political system is a mess. The people fight each other, they challenge each other. But everything was happened before the elections. But when you go to the China political system, that's a little bit dangerous. Everything was under tables. You don't know what's happened in the process. They put the things in the black box, and the nomination process was.
Yeah, but you can tell what's going on a bit better in China, actually, in many ways, than you can tell in the West.
Yeah. You cannot tell the West. You don't tell any people.
You think you know what's going on here?
Sometimes, yeah.
Actually, most things here
Read the Daily Mail.
happen behind the scenes.
Read the
They
Daily
don't happen
Mail.
on television. They don't happen in Parliament. It doesn't happen like that here. Everything happens behind the scenes in big corporate offices and in big institutions who manipulate the political process.
They have the
Whereas in
under-table-
China, you got key ministries. You got the National Reform Commission, all of which are based on 5-year plan, and the government is elected between the plan. So in other words, the government has to carry out the existing 5-year plan. So you know what's going to happen. More than you know here. More than here. You know there's going to be, when the government says it's going to be 5% growth rate, it's probably going to be 5%. When the government says we're not going to have mass unemployment, it's probably not going to be mass unemployment.
Some number was created about the people.
Yes, but not like here. Here it's up and down like this.
It's not up and down like that in China. It's relatively smooth economic development.
Yeah, but in the past four decades, past 40 years, China have the very good records and very good achievement on the economic growth and political reformation. But that now the big problem is political system and economic system. They are not matched. They are not matched. Or you make the change on the political system, or you make the change on the economic system.
How do they not match?
They don't match.
Why
In which respect? What do you mean?
It says
I agree with you, but what, why?
free market system is not matched with the public ownership.
It never has been.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, when you do the business with the peoples, you know,
Yeah, but okay,
state-owned companies,
okay, but
they
you-
have the very big problem with your market rules.
Okay, true, but here you've got big companies manipulate the market as well. You've got big tech, big pharma, big oil. They control the market, so the big banks, they control the market. But there's more fluctuation in the economy than there is in China, where the state transfers resources from the private sector to the public for investment.
But if you want to get more foreign investment, or get more foreign investment, get more experienced people come to China, yes, you need the reform.
I don't think it's going to happen, is it? Because that's part of the global war now. And the Americans don't want to give anything to China anymore, and so they're not going to invest. No, so the Chinese have got to rely upon independent internal investment. They can't rely upon foreign investment. And those days are finished.
Yes, in the past 40 years, they rely on the international market.
Technology transfer.
Yeah, technology transfers and the foreign investment. But now we do the supply chain reforms now. Yeah, this is gradually to do the reformations.
Real estate, you say property. The problem is, if you got they got oversupply of property. But that's a good thing. When I lived in Shanghai in 1990, they had. I remember going to this one woman's room, one guy's flat. We went up the stairs and we went past a room this big, and there was a woman about 95 sleeping in there. That was her house, a room the size of a bed. Now they've got 25, 30 meters each, for the whole country. That's the middle class spending their money like they do here on property. The middle class investing money in property they don't need.
But the problem is the fact that they're building up debts, which have been bought and sold, and the companies are finding it difficult now to actually complete these properties.
Yeah,
and that's the problem there. That's
but there's an oversupply. Unlike here, everyone's struggling to pay their rent. There's an undersupply of property. In China, there's an oversupply of property. It's beneficial.
Yeah. In the past 20 years, they manipulate the price. It's the increase all the way from the 150 pounds per square meter to the now is over 10,000 pounds per square meter. Now it's keep the price still rising all the way. Why? They keep this one. They keep the people have the confidence on the property market.
These are private property in the United States, the middle class. But the problem is, if the market's collapsing, it's upsetting the middle class. A lot of them are buying property outside China now. Like, a lot of them are trying to go to Hong Kong. It's slightly separate from the mainland, and there's more stability in Hong Kong. They find actually, I don't know why, but they're kind of stable, and therefore they're just the Chinese Communist Party are very worried about the situation in there. In the class, people buying properties.
They all said a couple of years ago. They all said when China's property market collapses, the whole country will collapse. The whole country will collapse, but it didn't collapse because the state they can just transform purchase into rental. They can transform empty buildings into rental properties. They've got a lot of choice. They can do that as well. They've got a lot of choice. Well, it could be local government and private companies.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes you've got like cut off.
Yeah.
All the things cut off. So you can cut off. Like, say, okay, to avoid, you've got an ordinance. Stop when you wait.
You stop with the ordinance, not more.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're done here.
Promoting that we're done.